Hi everyone, I hope you're all well. Thanks for being here. Still school holidays here, but I've managed to find a quiet time to do this, which is nice. Hopefully I won't be as rushed as I've been in previous videos. But anyway, here we are. This is another timeless reading that's for somebody out there. My intention is that it will find the people it's meant for at the right time. It's definitely not intended to be for everyone, so if you're finding that the storyline doesn't resonate for you, it's probably not your reading. You can definitely still watch the whole reading because it's always an intention of mine that anyone who's drawn to one of my readings will gain something from it, whether that's an insight, a piece of wisdom, or just the opportunity to see something from a different perspective. So if you are here, I think you're meant to be here. Give it a try. But anyway, let's get started. We'll just do our love pause first. This is where we pause the video and send some love out into the universe. You can also do this as a Ho'oponopono prayer, and that involves saying the 4 sentences: thank you, I love you, I'm sorry, and please forgive me. Thanks to everyone who does this. The time to pause is now, and I'll start my reading on the next slide. So yeah, here we are with the spread for this reading. If you're interested in the decks I've used, they'll be listed in the description box. Now, I haven't even started this reading, and I think I'm going to like it. There's just so many positive cards showing up here, and even the colours in the spread are so sort of vibrant and bright, aren't they? There is a Tower card in the middle, but it's surrounded by lots of lovely cards, and that makes it hard to see it as a bad tower, I guess. But anyway, let's start. We'll see where this story goes. Now, the card at the bottom of the deck is the Queen of Pentacles. So this is someone very stable, practical, and resourceful. I always think of one of those people who can have a lot going on, but is still on top of everything. And I do often think of one of those mums maybe who's working and keeping a busy home functioning and still has time to look after herself as well. So, you know, one of those people that's just really good at managing their priorities, keeping things in order, and good at troubleshooting when problems arise. So a very stable, very balanced kind of energy. This is Earth sign energy. I do tend to see it as Capricorn energy. And of course, tarot cards are energy, so this doesn't have to be a woman, even though it's the Queen of Pentacles card. Now, the card that came up at the bottom of the deck under this Queen of Pentacle card was the Ace of Wands, and that has strong fire sign energy, so something that's really activating. It's like a spark of inspiration. So I feel like something happens that's going to add a new element to this person's life, or has done that. And given that this is someone who's already quite busy, that might actually have been a little bit challenging when it happens, or will be a little bit challenging when it happens, because the Ace of Wands is hard to resist. So even if you're a busy person with lots of things going on, this is something that's going to inspire passion. So it's a bit like falling in love, I suppose. So as you know, even if that's going to disrupt things, most people can't walk away from, you know, the falling in love experience with, so if they meet someone and they fall in love, you know, that's going to be the thing that consumes them. So it's interesting to use that falling in love analogy, because I do have here the 4 of Wands in the future position with a couple on it. So this could definitely be a romantic storyline, even though we haven't gone through it yet. I'll keep an open mind for now, though, because the 4 of Wands is a card of stability and celebration, and that could be the result, obviously, of a passionate beginning in anything. So it could be a business venture, an investment, anything really. So I like it. I do like the Ace of Wands being here, and then seeing the 4 of Wands at the end. So that's kind of the progression you want to see with anything new that you're starting in your life. So you do want to see it become stable and solid and successful. Now, in terms of the disruption that this Ace of Wands might bring, that feels kind of exciting to me as well, because obviously Earth sign energy is very practical and grounded, and here we're getting something coming in that's really going to fire this person up. I've got a few fire sign placements in my chart, so I kind of enjoy that sense of excitement that we get with this Ace of Wands. And it's funny how we're seeing a rooster formed by the flames on this card as well, because that makes you makes you feel like it's been like a wake-up call. You know how roosters wake people up in the morning. So I feel like this person has been woken up spiritually, and that's really nice. Now, the card in the past position is the 8 of Wands, so more Wands energy. And actually, looking at the spread, even the Tower card relates to Mars, which is, you know, the ruler of Aries. So there's certainly a lot of fire energy in this spread. So the Queen of Pentacles looks like the only earth energy here. Everything else is fire energy. So this seems like a big sort of life-changing storyline for this person. It's interesting to have the Eight of Wands in the past position. So that sort of makes me feel like it's already underway, whatever we've been talking about here, because the Eight of Wands is about fast change and progress. So I feel like whatever this passionate start was, it's moved fast and led to a lot of progress in a short amount of time. Now, the normal image for the Eight of Wands is 8 wands flying through the air, but what we have here in this card is that there are 7 wands that have landed, and this person is catching the 8th one. And the other interesting thing to see is that these wands have all been planted into the earth, and maybe that's a reflection of the fact that we are talking about someone who is the Queen of Pentacles. So that's the sort of thing an earth sign would do with energy. So you have all this wands, which is fire energy, coming into them. They would take that energy and try and do something tangible with it. So they would plant it, if you know what I mean, turn it into something real. And I like that, actually, that combination of earth, what an earth sign would do with fire energy. I do like it. It's like they're going to build something purposeful out of the energy and the inspiration. And perhaps that's why we end up with the Four of Wands as the last card, because if anyone was going to turn something like turn passion and inspiration into something solid, it would be someone with earth sign energy when you think about it, because they're going to make it real, make it appropriate for the material world. So that's great. That's great to see. Now the card, as I said, next is the Tower. So that's the unexpected shake-up that's going to force things to change further. I mean, I feel like they're already changing with that Eight of Wands, but this is going to force big change. Now this card is usually about some kind of egoic construct that can't continue. It's something that isn't true or resonant anymore. This can also be seen as a divine intervention kind of thing. So that could be at play, but it can also be someone who just outgrows a particular identity, and that forces that identity to start crumbling. Now this card is here in the present position, so I feel like this might be saying that the wands this person stuck into the ground have created something significant. So whatever they were doing with that inspiration and passion, it's become something, and now they have to choose between this thing that they've created and the life that existed before. They have to make a choice now, because there are two realities, I guess. So there was the stable, solid life they had originally, and then what they've brought into being with these wands. I feel like they'll choose the new thing, and I think that's just because we tend to be attached to the things that we have personally created and nurtured. To give you an example, like say you lived in a beautiful house, but then you started building another house just as a hobby or something, and you felt inspired to build a house, and you build it gradually. You do everything that you feel should be done. You do it the way you think it should be done. And then one day this house is finished, and now you've got a choice. You have to decide which house you're going to live in, because, you've got to rent the other one out, or you've got to sell it. So you've got to work out who's living in which house, I guess. Now, most people, I think, wouldn't want to hand over the house that they built themselves with their own hands. They wouldn't want to hand that over to someone else to enjoy. So I think that's true. So even if the house you built isn't as flash as the house you're currently living in, you'll just feel attached to the house you built because it's the one you created and invested in. So I feel like this Tower is actually this person realizing that they will have to release something that they were previously invested in order to make room for the thing that they've created. It is the Tower cut, so that's going to mean upheaval, and maybe there are going to be people who aren't too happy about what this person's deciding to do, but it's being brought to a head is what this Tower card is indicating to me. So, you've got to make a choice at this point. The future card is lovely, as we've talked about. So Four of Wands, that's lovely. That's really positive. It means there is something to celebrate. So if we were seeing this as a romance reading, the Four of Wands would mean that the two people involved who fell in love at the start are going to end up marrying or being in a happy, committed relationship. Now, I'm not entirely sure this is a romantic reading, and there is a reason for that. There are a couple of oracle cards here that allude to wealth. And that kind of surprised me when I pulled these cards, because it was almost like one wealth card isn't enough to represent the amount of wealth we're talking about. So Spirit is almost saying whatever you might see as great wealth, this is double that or more. So the two cards that I'm talking about are in the first and third positions, the first and third oracle cards in this spread. The first card is called Treasure Island, and there's a treasure chest here that is overflowing with gold coins. There are a lot of stars and hearts around as well. So I'm thinking of this as representing all kinds of prosperity. So you're being loved and blessed by the universe in a big way. And interestingly, the island on this card is actually a turtle, and that makes me think of financial freedom. Which is where you don't have to be tied down to anything. You can go wherever you want and do whatever you want, and the prosperity is just following you wherever you go. So that's such a impressive message of wealth, wealth and prosperity. Now the third card is titled Inflow with Money. So money is just flowing in, is what that message is saying. And then when I looked closely at this card, I got a bit of a jolt, because it actually looks like an image of wands planted into the earth. But then it looks like something has come to life in the earth because the wands were planted there. So in fact, when you look at the image, it almost looks like there's a sun that's shining inside the earth. And that's massive when you think about how powerful an energy source the sun is. So I feel like these wands are perhaps much more significant than this person ever realized. It's like they thought they were turning these wands into something purposeful with a physical presence that they could see. But what they didn't know or realize is that these wands actually then grew roots underground. And as I said that, I just pictured those plants that grow root tubers that store water and nutrients. Some plants do that, and it makes the plant a lot more resilient. So I feel like while this person thought they were building something, they were actually not just building what they saw above the surface. They'd actually planted something into fertile soil at the same time. So these ones, they're not just sticks, they actually have life force energy or something. So they build something and they think it's just a small something they've built, but then it just starts growing out of its own accord. So what they thought was their construction was actually perhaps just the foundation of something that's going to grow to be much, much bigger. And it's alive. Like, I feel like these ones that this person received, they were planted in this fertile soil, and they've started to grow and thrive on their own. And with that root tuber thing that came to me, I feel like this whole thing is going to be self-sustaining growth. So it doesn't even require for this person to be putting a lot more into it. So their initial investment was basically the foundation that these wands needed. And then they don't need to do too much more, because this enterprise will just keep growing on its own. These wands, they can take care of themselves. And I guess that's why we're getting this message of substantial wealth showing up. So this enterprise, it's going to provide for itself, and obviously all the excess goes to this person because they're the owner or the founder or whatever of whatever this enterprise is. So not only is this enterprise looking after itself, it's pouring into their own private wealth as well. So that's why they have this financial abundance and financial freedom, and they're feeling like the universe is loving and blessing them abundantly. So the universe sent them these wands, but I guess nothing would have happened if this person hadn't decided to do something with these wands. And maybe there's a message in that for all of us to not let inspiration go to waste. Inspiration is really divine inspiration, and maybe you're being offered the opportunity to create something special like the person in this story. And if you're a willing accomplice or co-conspirator, you might be generously rewarded for your participation. So that reading's pretty awesome. And oh, I just realized I thought I'd finished, but I haven't even talked about that middle oracle card. It's in the central position, so it's probably quite important, but it's titled Positive Energy. So again, like I said, these are such positive cards in this spread. But this card reads, surround yourself with positive people and situations and avoid negativity. And I can see a few dolphins in this image, and they are such joyful creatures. So maybe there's something here that says you need to be in a positive vibration to be blessed with this kind of inspiration, to attract this divine inspiration. And so maybe these are downloads that come in psychically or something. But with that pod of dolphins kind of thing, I guess you need to be around people who are also high vibrational and away from, people who are quite negative or, I don't know, mean-spirited or whatever. So find, I guess, people, experiences that make you feel good is the message that's coming from that card. And that is the end of this, so I will stop there. So, wow, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Please claim it. I'm going to try and claim it. I think it's so positive, isn't it? And so much abundance and success and wealth and happiness. So that's beautiful. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, please give the video a like and consider leaving a comment. If you do enjoy my videos, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you to everyone who is subscribed. Your support means the world to me. And really that's it. Take care, everyone, and I hope I'll see you again in another video. With school holidays ending, I'm hoping I can upload a bit more regularly. It's been a serious challenge this time around. So there's just been too many people in the house doing too many things. So I'm really looking forward to the kids getting back to school. All right, I'll see you later. Bye.